I do respect this about Dana White. He will give Islam Makhachev the opportunity to go up and fight for the 170-pound belt, which I think Islam Makhachev has done enough. He's beat pretty much everybody in the lightweight division. I think it's time for him to have the opportunity to become a double champ. And I like this fight a lot. I like it a lot.
Versus Islam Makhachev.
Tough one. Tough one. I'm going to go Jack Della, actually.
The MMA world is buzzing as Islam Makhachev gets set to lock horns with Jack Della Maddalena, a clash that's got fans and analysts split right down the middle. It's the unstoppable grappler versus the slick Aussie striker, and everyone's asking the same question. Can JDM's crisp boxing crack the code of Islam's dominance, or will the champ drag another contender into deep waters and drown him there? Let's dive into what the experts are saying ahead of this high-stakes showdown.
Yeah, it's going to depend whether he wins or loses, but also, man, it's not easy to put on the weight. He's already a very solid lightweight fighter. To have the freedom to bulk up and put on more muscle and fill out your frame the way your body wants to be, to go back down to 55 is going to take some time, I think, to really be at a calorie deficiency and lose some of the muscle he's putting on. Because like I said, I know for a fact he doesn't make 155 easy. So now it's going to be even tougher. He could do it, but it's going to, yeah, he could be completely done at lightweight. It might be too hard for his body to get back down and compete at that level because he's not a small guy at all. I think when we see him in there across from another welterweight, he's going to fill the part. He's going to look like a welterweight fighter. He's a big guy, you know, and I'm excited about that fight. You know, if JDM's takedown defense holds up and he makes Islam have to be in front of him, you know, it could be a long night, but that's so much easier said than done, man. When these guys are on your body and on your legs, and it's so much easier said than done.
I just feel like it's too hard to not pick Islam for me.
Yeah.
Like, I know Jack looked good, but Bilal, I know he stopped a lot of Bilal stuff, but Bilal is older now.
Yeah.
He was 36 when they fought. You know what I'm saying? Islam's still younger, and he's just dominating everybody, bro.
Can I say, though, that if I ever wanted to fight like somebody,
Good round.
I would love to fight like Jack Della Maddalena.
Yeah.
Fifth round.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Dude.
Yeah.
His boxing is so
It's
nice.
so good.
He's
I like how he puts everything together.
Yeah.
Like, someone like him going to boxing would act.
When asked about Islam Makhachev's move up to welterweight, Merab Dvalishvili didn't hesitate. He knows the challenge ahead is real, but not impossible. He praised Jack Della Maddalena's striking and composure, but warned that Islam's relentless pressure and world-class wrestling could be the difference. Merab pointed out that Islam is a student of the game, likely to learn from JDM's war with Bilal Muhammad and make the right adjustments. It won't be easy, but in Merab's eyes, Makhachev has what it takes to shock the division and claim that second belt.
Yeah. Hey, that's a great list. You mentioned Islam. He's moving up to 170. Do you think that he gets the job done and wins that title, or do you think JDM retains?
It's gonna be hard for him, but it's possible to Islam Makhachev wins the second belt. JDM is great fighter, great striker, but Islam is tricky. He has a good wrestling, and he's southpaw. He don't get hits, but he takes people down and he mauls people down. So, and also we all see the JDM Belal Muhammad's fight, and then I'm sure Islam will take lots of lessons from this fight, and maybe Islam will make some adjustment. It's possible. It's gonna be hard, but Islam can.
Sharing that cautious perspective, Johnny Walker also backed Islam to pull it off, though he acknowledged the challenge that comes with moving up a division. The Brazilian light heavyweight praised Makhachev's technique and consistency, calling him one of the most well-rounded fighters in the game. Still, Walker noted that stepping into a new weight class means facing a different kind of power and physicality, a true test even for someone as dominant as Islam. But in the end, he believes Makhachev's skill and mindset could be enough to rise to the occasion once again.
Pay-per-view in November, Madison Square Garden. It's going to be headlined by Islam. He's going to be moving up to 170 from 155 to fight JDM for that title. Who do you favor in that fight?
I think Islam. Yeah. He's been a really tough fight and incredible technique for the last all his career, no? And I believe he still can get it. But as I said, it's a new division, new body type, new power, everything. He's moving up. It's a big testing for him, but I believe he can do good.
Building on that belief, Islam's head coach Javier Mendez echoed the same confidence, but from a strategist's lens. He dismissed the idea that Islam would have to lean solely on his wrestling, emphasizing that his fighter can compete anywhere the bout goes, striking, kicking, or grappling. Mendez explained that their game plan isn't about forcing one approach, but about reading openings, creating opportunities, and taking advantage of whatever JDM offers. In his eyes, Makhachev's versatility and fight IQ are what make him dangerous and what could ultimately make the difference on fight night.
Stand with anybody. Islam can stand with him. Whether we're going to box with him, whether we're going to kick with him, whether we're going to look to take him down, we're going to do it all. I mean, if Islam has to just stand with him because he can't take him down, then he'll stand with him. You know, but we have to look for the openings. We can't just stand with somebody to stand with him. We have to look for the openings. We have to see what opportunities we can either open up or he gives us. You know, that's what we'll be looking for. We're not looking to take this guy to the ground per se. We're looking to take advantage of whatever he gives us or whatever we force him to give us.
Rounding out the discussion, analyst Nick Dunn broke down the matchup from a technical angle, grading Bilal Muhammad's, a man JDM has defeated, grappling as solid, a B level, but acknowledging Islam's as elite, an A+, when it comes to control, transitions, and finishing ability. Still, Dunn believes the real X factor might not be on the mat at all. He pointed to Makhachev's improving boxing and how the added size at 170 could actually enhance his conditioning now that he's free from the brutal 155 cut. In Dunn's view, Islam's power, pace, and toughness could make him even more dangerous as a welterweight.
Look at that, dude. Look at that, dude. Look at that.
Dude, going into this fight, I know Bilal isn't the same grappling level as Islam. I would say, like, Bilal's grappling, if you had to grade it, you call it, like, you give him a B, right?
Yeah.
Islam's grappling like an A+, right? As far as his ability to finish fights, take you down, and to have a deep bag, right? But with all that said, I feel like the boxing and the size is going to be the big difference for Islam. I am curious to see if Islam's conditioning is better at 170. Just because at 155, that weight cut, I think his conditioning in the later rounds, like, obviously he wins in the later rounds because he's a tough son of a bitch, but I feel like...
You don't want to say motherfucker?
No, I don't say that anymore.
This is.
According to Alex Volkanovski, who spent plenty of time training alongside Jack Della Maddalena, underestimating the Aussie would be a serious mistake. Volkanovski highlighted how JDM handled Bilal Muhammad, one of the division's top grapplers, with poise and precision, shutting down takedown attempts and then dominating the stand-up exchanges. That performance, he said, didn't just boost JDM's confidence. It sharpened his takedown defense, elevated his grappling awareness, and proved he can stay composed under elite pressure. Volk emphasized that this version of Della Maddalena isn't just a sharp striker anymore. He's evolving into a complete mixed martial artist, the kind who can threaten anyone in the world, even a technician as dominant as Islam Makhachev. He also mentioned his plans to link up with JDM again in training before the fight, adding that while Islam will surely come prepared, he'll be facing a more dangerous, more confident version of Jack than ever before.
Last one, Ben, was with JDM at Scrappy MMA. He's getting ready for Islam Makhachev. You guys had that epic run together in camp where you won the title back. He was able to beat Bilal. The people that are doubting him, how dangerous is he for Islam, especially everything that you know about Islam and the time you've spent with AJ?
I mean, you can't doubt him. Look, he's a welterweight, and you've got Bilal, who's a grappler, wrestler. Look how he handled that. And then you know he's a beast on the feet. And then he's early, and I guarantee you from that fight, his confidence in grappling and takedown defense has just gone to a whole nother level. So he's going to be an absolute nightmare. So it'll be good. I'm hoping to get some training with him for this one as well. But we'll tee something up for sure. But I mean, JDM, mate, he's a weapon. So I mean, I know that Islam's not taking this one lightly. So.
When asked if Jack Della Maddalena could really halt Islam Makhachev's bid for two-division glory, Alex Volkanovski didn't hesitate to throw his full support behind his countryman. He pointed to JDM's sharp boxing, laser timing, and suffocating forward pressure as weapons that can overwhelm even the most polished technicians. Volkanovski believes that while Makhachev remains a nightmare matchup for nearly everyone with his blend of grappling, control, and composure, composure, Della Maddalena brings a different kind of threat. His striking isn't just clean, it's calculated, and his ability to maintain pace and precision under fire could spell trouble for anyone daring to stand and trade. Folks stress that if JDM can dictate the range early and stuff the initial grappling exchanges, he absolutely has the power, timing, and fight IQ to make history by stopping one of the most dominant champions in the sport.
And he should it. Do you believe he might be able to stop Islam going up to this weight class?
Stop him now. I mean, look, JDM's boxing and pressure that he can do, incredible. So I definitely can get a finish.
All right, favorite team?
Islam's great. Him moving up, I still think he's a nightmare for a lot of the people in the division, but I think JDM...
Sharing that sentiment from a different angle, Dan Hardy believes this matchup couldn't have come at a better time for Islam Makhachev. While he's long admired Jack Della Maddalena's crisp technical boxing, even calling him one of the sharpest strikers in the sport, Hardy sees Islam's move to welterweight as less of a gamble and more of a natural evolution. After years of cutting massive weight to make 155, Hardy feels Makhachev's body has finally outgrown the lightweight frame, and competing at 170 will only make him stronger, faster, and more dangerous. In his view, this isn't just Islam chasing history, it's him stepping into the version of himself he was always meant to be.
He's moving up to 170. He's going to be fighting JDM for that title. Do you think he gets the job done, or how do you see the fight playing out?
Man, I've been high on JDM for a long time. You know, I remember doing interviews back when Ngannou was crossing over to boxing, and people were talking about who's got the best hands in MMA. And I was saying JDM at the time. I mean, his boxing's always impressed me. But at this point, I feel like Islam's moving up a weight class at the right time. You know, there are a lot of fighters that stay in a weight class for too long, and they seem to kind of stifle their physical growth. I don't think Islam can stay healthy and stay in that lightweight division for any longer. And I think right now he's allowed himself to move into a division where his body's just going to grow into it. He's going to be incredibly powerful.
Hardy even drew a comparison between Islam's move to welterweight and Terence Crawford's jump up to face Canelo when the body is ready. He said, that kind of transition can feel almost effortless. He views Makhachev's skill set as a nightmare puzzle for anyone to solve. Even if the striking exchanges are competitive, with JDM's boxing as sharp as ever, Islam's diverse kicking game and relentless grappling pressure could steadily shift the momentum in his favor. In Hardy's eyes, the Aussie might hold his own in the early rounds, but once the fight drifts into deep water, that's where Makhachev's conditioning and suffocating style come alive, and where a late submission could seal the deal.
You know, I've been having a similar kind of conversation in my head with Crawford coming up against Canelo as well, you know what I mean? Like, what's Crawford going to look like going up a weight? And I think his body's ready to do it, same as Islam. And I just think Islam's all-round game is so problematic for any single fighter. I see him taking it. And I can see him probably a 50-50 striking exchange, Makhachev winning with a kicking advantage, but then he's grappling and his wrestling taking over. Probably winning by sub in the championship round.
But MMA Guru doesn't see this as a walk in the park for Islam Makhachev. He acknowledges Islam's skill set, but believes Jack Della Maddalena's pressure and style could completely change the dynamic. In his view, Makhachev won't be able to push Jack back. Instead, JDM will dictate the pace, manage the range, and lure Islam into overcommitting. That kind of forward pressure, Guru says, is exactly what makes Jack so dangerous. He also highlighted JDM's improved takedown defense and physical edge, noting that while Islam balloons to around 190 after the cut, Jack's natural size at 215 gives him the upper hand. For Guru, the real test is whether Islam's wrestling is truly on another level compared to Bilal Muhammad's, who's shown he can control and overpower bigger opponents.
I actually think Islam, but I hope he loses just to watch him cope and cry. Makhachev could beat JDM. It's an absolutely fine take, but man, I can't help but think JDM's just going to walk him down. I can't see Makhachev backing him up. I think he's going to be at range, and eventually as we get into the fight, JDM will just start pushing him backwards, drawing the shots out more obviously. And since JDM stopped jumping gillies, man, takedown defense elite. Bilal is a small welterweight. You know Islam is way bigger out of camp. 190 versus 215. 190 versus 215. How would JDM handle a version 2 of Bilal? Actual solid point, please. You think he's a V2 Bilal, though? Bilal has arguably proved more grappling dominance in terms of control and being able to physically manipulate large.
However, Jean-Paul Labosniani admitted this one's incredibly hard to call, but ultimately leaned slightly toward Jack Della Maddalena. In his breakdown, he argued that Islam Makhachev has yet to face a striker with Jack's level of boxing precision, timing, and composure, and because every fight begins on the feet, that naturally gives the Aussie an early advantage. While he acknowledged that Islam's grappling pedigree is elite and always a major threat, Labosniani believes JDM's evolving takedown defense, sharp counterpunching, and preparation for every possible scenario make him a dangerous puzzle for anyone, even a technician like Makhachev. For him, this isn't a fight defined by dominance, but by razor-thin margins, a true clash of styles where one mistake could decide everything. That, he says, is what makes this matchup so compelling.
Class, Islam and JDM are fighting in November. Who do you see taking the title there?
That's a tough one. You know, I think JDM's boxing is next level. I don't think Islam has faced anybody that has that sort of skill set. You know, and on the other side of the coin, Islam obviously has the best grappling in the world. So I think it's going to be a very close fight in terms of like stylistically, but I'm going to give JDM the advantage because the fight starts on the feet, you know, and that's where he's the most dangerous. And you got to think that he's preparing for everything. So the way that I look at it, fight starts on the feet. He's got the advantage there. So I'm excited to see what happens.
So now it's your turn. What do you think? Does Islam make history and claim gold in a second division? Or does Jack Della Maddalena stand his ground and prove too sharp on the feet? Drop your predictions in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more breakdowns, reactions, and updates from the world of MMA.